It's Miller Entertainment TV. Remember, guys, to like, share, comment, and follow. Today is the 28th of November, 2022. And so, guys, here's the latest news. Amendments to the Criminal Law Codification and Reform Act, which were approved by Cabinet last Tuesday, are set to introduce tough penalties for citizens found guilty of harming the country's national interest. Citizens who would invite a military attack on Zimbabwe from a Western foreign government through private correspondence will face the death penalty or life imprisonment. Those who campaign for economic sanctions and trade restrictions would be liable to imprisonment for a period of up to 5 years. According to the proposed new law, citizens who actively encourage sanctions on Zimbabwe would be barred from voting, registering as voters, and holding public office for up to 15 years. The bill's memorandum reads, "Our constitutional order of Zimbabwe, that is based on parliamentary democracy, affords many avenues for aggrieved citizens to redress their wrongs, including against the state. It is therefore improper for citizens and residents of Zimbabwe to implement measures that undermine our sovereignty, dignity, and independence as a nation. This new clause will criminalize such conduct. According to the bill, any citizen or permanent resident of Zimbabwe who actively participates in meetings whose subject involves imposing sanctions or a trade embargo against Zimbabwe shall be guilty of willfully damaging the sovereignty and national interest of Zimbabwe." It reads, "Upon conviction, the court can impose a fine not exceeding level 10 or imprisonment for a period not exceeding 5 years or both. Additionally, or alternatively, on the motion of the prosecutor, to any one or more of the following: if the offense is attended by aggravating circumstances, termination of the citizenship of the convicted person, if the convicted person is a citizen by registration or a dual citizen, provided that the conviction court shall not impose this penalty if it would effectively render the convicted person stateless, cancellation of the permanent resident status of the convicted person, if the convicted person is a permanent resident, or prohibition from being registered as a voter or voting in an election for a period of at least 5 years but not exceeding 15 years. The bill also says that those convicted of actively encouraging sanctions will be prohibited from filing a public office for a period of at least 5 years but not exceeding 15 years, and if he or she holds any such office, the convicting court may declare that office shall be vacated by the convicted person from the date of his or her conviction, unless the tenure of the public office in question is regulated exclusively by or in terms of the Constitution. If the amendments are passed into law, Zimbabwe citizens who call for military or other armed intervention in Zimbabwe by a foreign government will face the death penalty." It reads, "Any citizen or a permanent resident of Zimbabwe who within or outside Zimbabwe actively partakes, whether himself or herself or through an agent, and whether on his or her own initiative or at the invitation of the foreign government concerned or any of its agents, proxies, or entities, in any meeting whose subject the accused knows or has reasonable grounds for believing involves the consideration of or the planning for military or other armed intervention in Zimbabwe by the foreign government concerned or another foreign government, or by any of their agents, proxies, or entities, or subverting, upsetting, overthrowing, or overturning constitutional government in Zimbabwe, shall be guilty of willfully damaging the national interest of Zimbabwe and liable to the same penalties as for treason or the same penalties as for subverting constitutional government in a case referred to in paragraph B." ZNPF Director for Information and Publicity, Tababza Mukwadi, welcomed the bill, saying national interests are sacrosanct to all Zimbabweans, notwithstanding their differences, political or otherwise. And so, guys, that's the latest here. That's why I said the other day that we need to be very careful for what we write on social media, what we comment on social media, because pane zvimwe zvinokuti vanhu vanenge vakatsamwa vachikomenta vachisa mafeelings avo pane dzimwe nyaya, and zvinongosva kukupinza mumawani, and so we just need to be very careful and panyaya dzepolitics, because unokwanisa kutongonyura ndokunyora kwacho kunzi anenge tina akanyora because akaita zvimwe zvinhu asingazivi kutoti unokwanisa kutonyora nazvo handitika. So we all Zimbabweans, at the end of the day, we all have the same thing, which is a better Zimbabwe for everybody. A Zimbabwe whereby tinonotenga chingwa, munhu wese achikwanisa kutenga chingwa, munhu wese achikwanisa kuvhura tepi yemvura achimwa mvura yakachena. Ndo Zimbabwe yatinoda. Uchienda kuchipatara uchinotongawo mushonga handika, uchipuwa mushonga for free, usingabhadhara kana any fee kuhospital. I mean, other countries vane a free health system. I mean, why not Zimbabwe? And so those are the things that we as Zimbabweans want. Good thing about it is that we as Zimbabweans, we can fix the problems. We can fix the problems. Isusu nditokwanisa kutongovaka Zimbabwe yoyo, not America, not South Africa or Zambia. Aiwa, isusu maZimbabweans ndisi tinokwanisa kuzvigadzirisa tega. And saka ngatitaure in the comment section. This is a daily news, breaking news, everyday news on Prince Men Entertainment TV.